In a quote by Dr. Seuss, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. This is a quote that resonates with me because throughout the years I've created such meaningful memories with the people I've deeply bonded with. Upon ending my time in elementary school, middle school, and high school, I wanted to keep those moments with me forever. And that's when I realized I have always loved preserving memories. Since then, I did all that I could to do just that, and maybe you did too. Whether it was through taking pictures or Polaroids or through a memory box, you probably had that same thought of wanting those moments to last forever. And that is why I wanted to share with you today how I memory keep through photography, journaling, collecting keepsakes, and how you can use these to capture those moments of your life too. So to start, my go-to way of collecting memories is through taking pictures and videos. And so I would use my phone or my Canon EOS R50 camera, and I would take pictures and videos of every event, hangout, trip, and so on. And so I would constantly be behind the camera. And sometimes I like to make video edits or collages of these moments, such as my trip to Korea with my friends just last year and my summer trips to the Philippines, also including hangouts as well as major events such as prom or graduation. And from an article by Catherine Lang, I learned that normal memory loss can begin around our 40s to 50s, and so I like to use photography to remember the people in my life, including loved ones, friends, family, and I just like to take pictures and videos because it's so easy. There's a variety of things that you can use. So for example, you can use your phone, you can use a digicam, which is like the trendy thing nowadays. You could also use a professional camera, and if you have a bit of a tight budget, you can use a generic camera or a kid's camera worth less than $50. And honestly, one click is all it takes. By then, all of these moments are frozen in time, and you can look back on them many years later, whether you're 50 years old, 60 years old, or maybe even when you're 80 years old. And secondly, the other thing that I like to do to collect these memories is through journaling. Through journaling, I've always had an interest for it from an early age, but of course, I was never really consistent with it because I had such a young mindset and I would prefer to do other activities. But then I started a daily planner in 2019. 2019 was when I was 8th grade and it was one of the best years of my life, and I would write every single day of my life. And so as of right now, I have written about 16 journals, and these are my current journals for 2025. And to me, journaling honestly tells the full story. And I learned this from an article by Laura Jobson, published in 2019. Memories are what make us who we are and what makes us human. And I like to use journaling to remember stories that pictures and videos can't always explain. Because pictures and videos are just graphics, but journaling is what details the stories. And journaling isn't limited to just memory keeping because I actually learned from an article by Bisma and War published in 2022. Journaling has other mental health benefits that can help you. So, for example, it gives you this space to kind of vent, or especially when you're like the type of person to not really open up to people and you just don't really do well with contacting with other people. And so you could use this as a way to kind of encourage you to find that social support from journaling. Other things that it can help you with is it serves as like a coping mechanism, especially with like mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, stress, and it really reduces that habit of overthinking, and it regulates your emotions. And honestly, journaling has no limits. It's so easy. You can literally use any writing utensils. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a notebook, and if you're not really the type of person to to write things, you can use either a laptop or your notes app on your phone. And journaling is low cost and uses minimal effort. You can literally write anytime, anywhere, anyhow, and it's all about you, your thoughts, your personal feelings, and just in general, your life. And lastly, the last thing that I like to do to preserve these memories is through collecting keepsakes. So I like to collect keepsakes of receipts, flowers, sticky notes or doodles, as well as Polaroids that people take or that I would take, and photo booth strips. And with these, I like to keep them in a memory box. So right now, I have about 3 to 4 memory boxes. And to me, collecting keepsakes is really just a bonus to memory keeping. So, for example, you can collect wristbands, concert tickets, movie tickets, and so on. And all of this is a part of the experience. You can even recycle old shoe boxes or any unused boxes. And if you really think about it, it's basically all free. You don't have to pay for anything because, again, like I said, it's all a part of the experience. And so, to me, collecting keepsakes basically symbolizes these moments that aren't just pictures and videos, and a small item can definitely tell you a billion of stories. So, for example, this is a photo booth strip of some of my friends, and the reason why I chose this one is because it's very meaningful to me because this symbolizes my our last hangout before everyone went off to college, and this tells you a lot of stories. So, for example, on this day, we went to Denny's, which is one of our go-to restaurants during our hangouts, and on this day, we also watched our final Guam sunset together. So, in summary, I've always been interested in savoring memories from an early age, whether it's through taking pictures and videos for and of the people I love, having written journals of those moments, or collecting items that symbolize those times. I just really like having these moments with me no matter how life goes, especially as I get older and I slowly start to forget things. Truly, it's the simplicity of memory keeping that makes it so easy and enjoyable, and hopefully, this inspires you to capture these moments of your life too. Remember, time will always pass, and memory keeping is what helps you preserve it. Thank you for listening. I'm done.